Hi, everybody. This is Marilyn. Do we have any audio on this today? Maybe we might. Okay, great. Thank you. Hello, everybody. This is Marilyn, and it's time for the noon edition of Welcome to My World. This is the 10th of August, and it is a Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, the middle of the week. Wow. We've had some really nice trends in the market. So let's take a look at some of this stuff. The big thing of today was that a lot of these markets, the U.S. indices, a little bit, not so much, but gold, the U.S. dollar. I think I forgot, because I always look at this, but gold and the U.S. dollar, and to some extent, well, not quite so much, but gold and the U.S. dollar and these currencies, my goodness, overnight, they were really, really active. Apparently the cause for some of this was the Bank of England had a little difficult time in placing $1 billion or pounds worth of government bonds, and the markets in the London session just said, I don't think so. We don't like this very much. So what that does is it spills over into other markets and other time zones. But when I look at the indices, they all they were a little jittery and a little bouncy real early this morning, and then they took a direction on the southbound bus. TF, for all of its nonsense yesterday, was really, it made a huge move today for TF. That's big, big, big. So that is a market that's well worth. Keep in mind what the difference between TF and YM is. YM has got 30 of the biggest, most highly capitalized, the best capitalized companies in the United States in that Dow 30. Whereas the TF is based on the Russell 2000, and this is 2000 of many times not well capitalized, but very volatile. This is where most of the tech companies, the little tech companies and the little pharma companies and those kinds of little companies, and they can be very, very volatile. So it's a completely different animal, but they do all tend to run together. The NQ is based off the NASDAQ. So the ETF that follows that thing is the Qs. So sometimes people like to use that for a little bit of an idea of what to expect in NQ. But those kinds of things do not trade overnight, whereas these futures contracts trade around the clock, around the world. They only cease trading from 4:15 Eastern time to 5 o'clock Eastern time. And then keep in mind that at 5 o'clock Eastern time, the light switch is on, but nobody's home. The Asian markets haven't opened yet. The New York markets have all gone home, so there's not any volume. But there will be later on. If there's going to be, there will be when Asia opens, and then Europe takes over about 2 in the morning. Anyway, we've got oil coming off of some of these highs. It got out of its serious bottoming and started up north, but this inventory today, the build is more than forecast and more than expected. So a lot of times when you see a bigger build than what they are forecasting, the immediate response to a lot of these traders is, oh my goodness, we have a glut of oil. I don't think that's necessarily the case, but that's a mentality they get, and so they start selling into it. And all these contracts that have been shorted up here at inventory time, going into the close, some of those traders are going to be offloading those short contracts because they don't want to hold them overnight. So sometimes when they do that, around 1:30 and 2, before 2:30, when the pit closes, they will start to divest themselves of those contracts, and it causes a little upward movement. We've got the VIX. I mean, I looked at that, and I'm tempted to say, oh, it's coming up. Yeah, right. From where? It did break 12. It's over 12. Trading 12.15 right now. That's not much, but if the VIX goes on up and starts tapping on 15 and then on up to 20 and gets into the 20s and even 30s, we'll see these indices sell off with that. So that's why we kind of keep track of that. We're heading into, we're about a month out, about 30 days out from Labor Day. And so volume tends to drop off at this time because all the big boy traders are off in vacation land, and some of them just take, a month, 6 weeks off in the summer and then come back after Labor Day. And that's when they get real serious. So if you are getting frustrated with some of this stuff, just wait until September. It will start to change, and then into October, November, and December. There are a lot of professional traders, and that's all they trade because they make their whole year right then. Anyway, I know that's a lot of patience, but that's why I keep saying, and Craig's been jumping on this too in the afternoon to remind people that this is a perfect time of the year to devote to tuning up your education and doing the market replay. If you like market replay, it's a good use of your time. So you're just a little sharper and a little more knowledgeable when it's time to start after Labor Day. I have been really trying to zero in on this new stuff, and I cannot tell you how thrilled I am with it. And I'm the one that's the great skeptic. I don't know if I'm going to like this or not. I love this stuff. What I love about it is you absolutely do have to be able to read either a C's chart or an alchemy, and read it pretty well. But I have literally, I call this my simple-minded chart. So as soon as this new indicator is ready to shove out the door, which it will be as soon as the rules are set in pretty much in stone anyway, it will be shoved out, and I hope it's very soon. But then I'll start putting my simple-minded chart on my camera, because I really, really like it. You can't use it by itself. probably wouldn't work. But if you are still trying to learn about the apex pattern and Lori's C's and the alchemy and any of those kinds of things, do it now. Get better and better and better with that. We had a couple nice trades today on bonds, and the 10-year auction is at 101. And that's the symbol on that ZN. Going into the close today, the big boys have to have all their humongous contracts of bazillions of dollars worth into the trading desk, and these aren't the little people like us, the little futures people that take their 1 and 2 contracts. I'm talking about the huge money. They have to have that in by I don't know, 3:25 for a close at 4 o'clock to get their orders filled. So sometimes in the afternoon that can move, depending on, you know, if they're buying or selling or whatever they're doing. So the indices gave nice trends once crude oil settled down after that inventory. Took it 10 or 15 minutes today. Sometimes it takes it about 30 seconds. And gold was just, oh my goodness, gold was just wonderful today. So just about the time you give up on the choppy chop, we will get a nice trend. With these kinds of trends going into the afternoon, I wouldn't look for that to continue. Usually when we have nice trends in the morning, the afternoon can turn into a bit of chop, and vice versa. If it's chopping around, and don't fight it. Lori probably trades chop better than anybody I've ever seen. I hate chop. I hate it with a passion. And I won't play. Just forget that, Mr. Bus Driver. I'm not getting on your stupid bus. So I'm much happier when the bus is going where I want it to go, and I'm willing to just walk away from that choppy baloney, because later it will change. That's one thing about trading these markets. If you don't like what they have today, come back tomorrow. It'll be something else. That's both the blessing and the curse of trading. It's different every single day. So Lori has volunteered to open up the conference room today. Oh boy, oh boy. So if you're looking for some extra help, or you want somebody to go over your charts for you in real time right in front of you, those kind of things, she's got the time to do that in that conference room. So she'll post the link here. When you go in the conference room, you're going to get shut out of this room. In other words, you can't be in both rooms at the same time. So when you get through in the conference room, then go back and log back into the elite room and scroll through the chat, make sure you didn't miss anything, because there's lots and lots of good tidbits that are